Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at these new patch notes that are just dropped in the Discord. Jaeger has just put a huge message detailing all the patch notes for tomorrow's downtime and patch. Before we start, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching and subscribing and supporting. It means a hell of a lot, thank you so much. So anyway, let's get into it. It says, patch notes 1.1, Dear Metas, one human will undergo server maintenance on Thursday. As this is a fairly large update, the maintenance is expected to last 5 hours. There's a big downtime, big things coming. So what's coming? Well, brand new animal ranching feature is now available. Capture and raise animals and build a post-apocalyptic ranch of your dreams. It says most animals encountered in the open world, including deer, wolves, sheep, wild boars, bears, rabbits, crocodiles, can be captured and brought to your territory to be raised. Even more animals will be made available in the future. Each animal has different habits and characteristics. You must build special housing for each type of animal and provide the appropriate food. Once an animal is tame enough, you'll be able to collect skins and meat from them. So this is going to be other than the rabbit, there's no like real passive way of collecting meat and skins, so this is going to be cool. Once an animal is tame enough, you'll be able to collect skins or meat. Some animals are aggressive by nature and can even help you defend your territory against deviant invasions. You can have an army of wolves. An upcoming September update will even allow you to breed animals to obtain rare and unique critters. Animal breeding, rarities, this is going to be so fun. Revamped fishing system, thank god, because the fishing system is actually terrible. Since launch, we received a lot of valuable feedback about concerning the fishing minigame. Players are reported being unable to catch fish or confusion regarding the fishing controls. We understand where you're coming from, so we've revamped some aspects of the fishing system. The waiting time has been reduced and we've increased the number of fish in each fish tank can hold. We've also added lots of rare new fish types. So the new fishing minigame is a battle system between your stamina and a fish's energy. Tension on the fishing line is displayed in the center of the screen. You must reel in the fish as much as possible while keeping the fishing line from snapping. When the fish runs out of energy, you successfully caught it. Some small fish can now be used as bait. Large and ferocious fish prefer small fish to common bait. Optimize the fish types. Reduce the waiting time required when fishing or reeling in a fish. Added new rare fish. Northern pike blood jade, sunfish black rose, rainbow trout blue porcelain, suckerfish spotted, oscarfish amber, pompano opal, barracuda aquamarine, koi fish cloud, guppy peacock, black bass pure white, big head carp gold knife, sardine bloodmark, tilapia red giant, and angelfish purple dawn. So that's lots of new rare fish for you to catch, all those collectors. Optimize fish tanks to allow them to hold multiple fish at once. Each fish tank can hold up to 8 fish depending on the size of the fish. So that's pretty cool. So a new wilderness game modes. Sproutlet Conquest. This is exclusive to Evolution's Call. So opening time every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 4:20. Hey, 4:20. Server time. Locations. A random settlement in Chalk Peak, Lone Wolf Wastes or Blackheart regions. Rules. This game mode lasts 20 minutes. Sproutlight will start spawning 5 minutes after the event starts and can be obtained through various mining methods. Metas in the event zone will be in PvP teams. During the event, more Sproutletite you carry, the more Sproutletite you drop when defeated. Rewards. Sproutletite. Okay, so this is an Ancient One's trial. People have reported seeing the Ancient One descend upon the highest mountain in Chalk Peak. The Ancient One's trial awaits any meta who can climb to the top of that tall mountain. Board the Ancient One and face a trial that will test your determination and courage. Metas who earn the Ancient One's recognition shall receive lots of rewards. Call upon your most trustworthy companions and attempt the Ancient One's trial together. So I think that's across all scenarios. So that's going to be really cool. That big flying plane thing you keep seeing in the air, we're going to be able to actually board it and do a trial. That's so sick. This one I'm really excited about. Mod conversions. So mod conversion is unlocked when you reach level 40 in the novice season or when you enter a non-novice season. The mod conversion function can be accessed from the upper right corner of the mod backpack. You can convert 6 unenhanced legendary mods into a legendary mod with a main attribute of your choice. Mods obtained via conversion may contain basic suffixes, none, violent, precision, or deviant energy. If 4 of the 6 mods used for the conversion contain the same suffix, The converted mod is guaranteed to have that suffix. This is assuming the converted mod is able to have the suffix. For example, Lucky 7 cannot have precision, and Embers cannot have frost. The converted mod's attribute levels depend on the attribute levels of the 6 mods used for conversion. So, this means while you've been farming for that one mod that you need, and you've done 50 runs and not got a single one, you can now take all those mods, shove it into the conversion, and get the one you want. This is going to make mod farming so much easier. It's going to give people the suffixes that they want. It's going to save a lot of time. Also, adding controller support. Once Human now supports game controller experience. Experience the game in a different way with your favourite controller. The game will automatically detect your controller's button layout. Currently, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch Pro controller layouts are available. If your controller is not currently recognised in the game, please report your controller's model and your preferred button layout. Honestly, most people use Xbox controller, so that's fine. Also, maybe this is going to make it really good for the Steam Deck. So all the different types you can use, as you choose which presets use, customize your control screen settings. As controller support is a new feature, we're still optimizing some parts of the game for controllers, and controllers may not work with all features. We're working hard to make necessary adjustments and improvements to give the best experience possible. So controller support is currently unavailable for the following features. So you can't do camera mode, actions relating to weapon or vehicle stickers, playing the piano and other features may be hard to use with a controller. Cross character sharing for paid content. This is something a lot of people have been asking about and wanting. They said it was coming, but they had to delay it. Looks like it's coming out now. So cross character sharing for paid content is now officially available. Paid cosmetics and premium currencies, such as Christogen, can be shared by all characters under the same account for the same region. For more information, refer to Once Human cross character sharing rules. Announcement on our official website. Server invitations, another thing that everyone's wanted. Special invitation codes are now available. If a server is full, players already on the server can find their special invitation code on their player info screen, which can be accessed via the menu. They can then share this special invitation code with their friends. Friends who receive this special invitation code can use it to enter the server even if it's already full. Note, as servers have restricted capacity, there's still a limit to the number of players who can join each server using special invitation codes. Once the server reaches the limit, no more players may join it, even if they have a code. Hence, it is recommended you invite your friends as soon as possible. Each player can invite up to 5 friends. So all those people, I mean, it's a bit late now, because most people who have friends that play, if they couldn't get onto their server, have started and gone through on a different server. But possibly if you've got new players that you're wanting to join, especially like, you know, being a streamer and stuff, quite often I get new players coming in saying, oh, can I play with you? Now they can. Seasons. Some servers will soon be changing seasons for the first time. The following is some useful information regarding Once Human's season system. What are scenarios and seasons in Once Human? What is this game like in the long term? We want to offer different survival experiences so the game has a little something for everyone. We also want to keep updating the game so it's always exciting to play. That is why we've chosen to include multiple scenarios in the game. Scenario is the gameplay theme of the server. Once Human's global launch initially offered 2 scenarios, with Manibus focusing on PvE and Evolution's Call centered around PvP. In September and October, we're bringing in special events featuring new scenarios. September's scenario will involve faction-based PvP, while October will bring a cooperative PvE scenario with a new map and temperature-based survival mechanics. So it looks like we're going north into those big mountains that we can see. Also in the works are a scenario with unrestricted PvP and a longer season cycle, as well as a perpetual scenario. Furthermore, we plan to release at least 4 new scenarios every year. Season referred to individual cycles and progress with the scenario. The duration of each season varies according to each scenario. Each season will also be split into multiple phases, based on the scenario's features. In-game content will be gradually unlocked as your server progresses through the seasons, ensuring that you always have something new to enjoy. Once all the scenario content is available and the season reaches the transitional phase, you can sign up for a new scenario while keeping your gains from the current scenario. Of course, you can always choose to continue playing and completing game objectives on your current server until the transitional phase ends. Currently, the transitional phase is set to last 4 weeks. That's our vision for the game, which we hope will bring you a multifaceted and consistently engaging experience. So my server, 11, is going to be going into transition phase on Friday, I believe. So I think, I don't know if we're just going to stay in the transition phase until October when the new PvE starts, or if there's going to be a whole reset and a new manibus. I'm not sure. So how do I sign up for a new scenario? You can sign up for a new scenario during the final phase of the current scenario. Once you do so, you can start a new journey right away. Alternatively, you may choose not to sign up immediately and continue exploring and fighting on your current server for up to 4 more weeks, during which you can sign up for a new scenario at any time. If you haven't decided on which scenario to join by the time your server's phase ends, your current server will be closed and your character will be returned to Eternal Land, where you can continue playing or sign up for a new scenario at any time. When a scenario is over, does that mean I will lose my in-game progress? No, it does not. We value the effort and time you put into your game. Even when a scenario ends, or you exit a scenario midway, you'll be able to keep the rewards you've earned. There are very few rare exceptions, including scenario-specific items or mimetic items. However, to ensure each scenario offers a self-sufficient experience and allows all players to enjoy the game regardless of their progress, we have the following rules in place. And here you've got the detailed rules about what is and isn't going to transfer over, things like that. So how do I bring items from Eternal Land Depot into a new scenario? You have a certain amount of resource points when entering a new scenario. Each item you choose to bring to the new scenario will cost a certain amount of resource points. The actual amount varies between items and can be checked in game. You'll obtain new resource points every time you join a new scenario. Season optimization. In the upcoming seasons, we're releasing a new scenario with higher difficulty. This scenario will include 2 combat environments, with each environment containing different cradle override combinations, super anomaly types, exclusive blueprints, and calibration blueprints. There are also 2 combat difficulty levels for the scenario, normal and hard. On hard difficulty, deviant dungeons and other challenges will be tougher, but also yield more rewards. You may choose whether combat difficulty level you prefer. When the season enters its settlement phase, your personal territory and your vehicle's mobile territory will automatically save as house blueprints for the new season. So you don't have to, it'll automatically save your blueprints, that's cool. New shop arrivals, get that money in. So new cosmetics are coming to Once Human, you can view and purchase them in the shop. The afternoon latte fashion set, rare quality, will be available to purchase after the update. Return to school with this pretty and affordable set. Epic new hairstyles, rare makeups will be available, you can view in the cosmetics, hair and makeup. The Teddy Warrior fashion set and Teddy Partner discounted theme pack will be available after the update. The versatile warrior fights, heals, and even carries a chilled backpack full of ice cold drink. You can be a giant teddy bear. Who doesn't want to be a giant teddy bear? Ooh, Lightforged loot crates are now available. Open the Lightforged loot crate to receive a guaranteed cosmetic, as well as a chance to obtain a Lightforged collection cosmetics. You will not receive duplicate Lightforged collection cosmetics. A Lightforged collection cosmetic is guaranteed within 30 openings. Duplicate cosmetics obtained will be converted into tokens that can be used to redeem Lightforged loot crates or Siderite. I don't know what Siderite is. The Pyroglide vehicle cosmetic legendary quality, Psychedelic Skull fashion set legendary edition, and Primordial Flame weapon cosmetic epic quality will be available on August 16th. Open the Lightforged loot crate for a chance to get these limited edition collectibles. Brace the eternal flame. I want to be Ghost Rider. I want to be Ghost Rider. Nick Cage Ghost Rider, obviously. So, event updates. Wilderness Express starts August 15th. Enjoy racing through the wilderness alone or as a team and earn points for mileage and collisions. Reach the required score to claim rewards including Starcrom and the limited edition Fulfilled Wish Vest Cosmetic. Ooh. Secure on site. Starts August 22nd. During the event, defeat enemies to earn loot crates which may contain specimen cards. Collect specimen cards. Fill out the field guide to earn rewards. Refer to the event screen for details. And we've got some optimizations. So Prime War, reduce the cooldown time of Prime War to 5 minutes. Recategorize the Prime War's Gatling cannons and turrets as special buildings. They no longer use up the same construction limit as other defensive installations. Added new time limits for demolishing buildings and facilities in the Prime War. After the time limit is up, buildings may be demolished by other metas. Materials used will be returned. Added a new protection mechanism that prevents all buildings from being demolished by other metas once the boss phase of the Prime War begins. Added an on-screen display of the durability of the Staroid. That's brilliant. Like, because whenever I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, how's it doing? But I can't bother to go over and check. Territory purification. Reduce deviant HP and damage they deal to buildings in base defense modes such as territory purification and workshop defense. Optimize the territory purification tutorial task. Anti-memetics tech metas must now reach the easiest territory purification level before taking on this task. Make sure to build defensive installations to protect your territory before territory purification for the first time. And some other adjustments. Slightly increase the length of high-level cargo conquest matches. If a meta is defeated while carrying a chaotic cortex, the chaotic cortex will no longer drop as stardust flowers, but as a chaotic cortex model that can be more easily noticed by other metas. And we've got territory optimizations. Construction mode now has grid alignment system that displays grid map on your territory. That is so good. Grid alignment mode allows you to place foundations and facilities in the foundation and floor more neatly. The rotation angle is fixed at 45 degrees while the grid alignment mode. Foundations can be raised or lowered by a half walls while in grid alignment mode. So you can disable grid alignment mode and return to default freeform construction mode. When the season enters the settlement phase, your personal territory and vehicles' mobile territory will be saved as blueprints. House blueprints can now save wallpapers and building cosmetics. While proving the house blueprint, you can now filter the visibility of facilities, wallpaper, and other content. Facilities such as brewing barrels and fuel refineries now display the correct input to output ratio. You can now easily disconnect electrical wires and water pipes from the wire pipe management system. Your backpack will now become invisible when interacting with certain furniture items, and when crafting gear, materials for semi-finished items will now be automatically added if you have the required quantities. Okay, so deviant optimizations. Starting from the second season, the opposing factions shall face a new challenge, the Super Anomaly. Due to perpetual exposure to aberrant forces, the enemies on the continent have gained new powers and extreme resilience. Luckily, they also come with new weaknesses. Exploit these vulnerabilities and defeat them to earn rewards. So location, larger strongholds in pro or hard dungeons. Super Anomaly type, void, phase, balance, coherence. Countermeasures, specific types of damage or abilities from the cradle. So I think this is to stop people just using the same optimal build. So like if you've got one that's weak against frost, you're going to want a frost build, etc. Slightly increase the HP of low and mid-level deviants in the novice season. Deviants in the novice season now pose a larger threat and deal more damage. Great runs, Ravenous Hunter, Treant, Araxim, Shadowhound and Forsaken Giant are no longer considered deviants and cannot be affected by damage bonuses that apply to deviants. Instead, they are only affected to effects that apply. That? Oh, I hate that. Because there's a thing in the cradle that gives you 50% extra damage against deviants when you have your deviant out. So we're losing that. Ouch. Optimize the blast radius and warning indicator of Vulture Bomber. Improve the alertness and attack logic of Maniacs and Ignorers. And fix the issue where deviant corpses will still have hitboxes, causing them to obstruct players' hosts. Okay, so combat optimizations, balance adjustments. We've noticed some balance issues. Okay, this could hurt. So, different builds had different cradle trigger conditions, especially in PvP, so we've adjusted the difficulty of triggering certain cradles to ensure more balanced gameplay across different builds. Deadly combo. After hitting a weak spot with bullet effects, bounce shrapnel, bullet effect, deal 25% for 3 seconds. Now, after triggering bullet effects, bullet damage plus 25% for 4 seconds. Oh, nice. Transient impact. After triggering power surge damage 25 for 3 seconds. Now, after defeating an enemy, power surge damage 25% and shock elemental damage 18 for 15 seconds. The current PvP scenarios have overly powerful damage reduction builds. Prolonged knockdown times negatively impact the PvP experience, thus we've adjusted the cradle's damage reduction stats accordingly. So is this only on PvP servers, or is this going to be across everything? I wonder. Now, agility before, after rolling, damage reduction 15%. Now, after rolling, weapon damage reduction 15%, status damage reduction 15% for 4 seconds. Brawl boost. Before, damage from humans minus 20%, effect half if defeating a human player. Now, damage from humans minus 20%. Well, that's exactly the same. Old Huntsman boots are designed to simplify player controls, but these boots are too powerful in PvP, so slightly reduce their effectiveness. Before, after triggering the bullseye, the next one bullet will count as a weak spot, even if it doesn't hit weak spot. Weak spot damage plus 30% to enemies affected by bullseye. Now, after triggering the bullseye, the next one bullet hitting the marked target will count as a weak spot hit, even if it doesn't hit the weak spot. Weak spot damage plus 30% to enemies. Some deviation passives are either too strong or too weak, so having the following adjustments. Psychic Kid. Before, having deviation fight alongside you grants psi intensity plus 5. Now it's giving status damage plus 5. Health. Before singular deviation grants max stamina plus 5. Now singular deviation grants max stamina plus 10. Run fast. Before, singular deviation grants movement speed plus 3. Now plus 5. Melee weapon balance adjustments. Certain melee weapons like the Scourge and Long Axe are too powerful, while the Fabled Masamune is criticized for its durability issues. Therefore, we have adjusted the Fabled Masamune's durability threshold, affecting damage output. It'd be nice if we could actually make the Fabled Masamune. Give us the blueprint, damn it. Okay, so... also, Stun Baton startup takes too long, so we've increased its base chance of triggering Power Surge and optimization. Its description. Scourge. Before, attack multiplier increased based on lost HP. Now, melee damage increased based on lost HP. Fabled Masamune. Before, crit damage increased 3% for every 1 durability over 60. Attack reduced for 1% Attack reduced by 1% for every 1% durability below 40. The first quick strike after drawing a weapon has 30% attack multiplier. Always results in a critical hit, ineffective against metas, and can trigger only once every 15 seconds. After a quick strike hits, enhancement effects last 5 seconds but gradually diminish. Now, crit damage increased by 3% for every 1 durability over 50 up to a maximum of 120. Attack reduced by 2% for every 1 durability below 20. The first quick strike after drawing the weapon has a 30% attack, always results in a crit hit, not against metas, and triggers only once every 15 seconds. After a quick strike hits, enhancement effects last for 5 seconds but gradually diminish. Long Axe. Before, after a heavy strike, all weapons gain plus 10% crit rate and 3% melee swing speed for 10 seconds, stacking 5 times. Now, for every target hit by a heavy strike, all weapons gain 8% crit rate and 5% melee swing. So you have to hit, you can't just slam it on the ground anymore, that sucks. Stun Baton Like strikes and impacts have a 33% chance to inflict Power Surge. Heavy strikes on targets with Power Surge status will inflict additional 50% Power Surge damage on nearby enemies. Now, light strikes impacts have an 80% chance to inflict Power Surge. Heavy strikes on targets with Power Surge will inflict an additional instance of shocking damage equal to 100% psi intensity on nearby enemies. Okay, they made that much better. Crossbow balance adjustments. The crit rate of the recurve crossbow is excessively high. Both back-end data and player feedback suggest that it has become almost the only choice for a secondary weapon, thus, we've reduced some of its support capabilities. Oh dear. As a legendary weapon, the compound bow's damage output has been relatively insufficient, therefore, we have enhanced its passive effects. So, the recurve crossbow. A hit on a weak spot will inflict the bullseye on the target, and all weapons will gain crit rate plus 30% against targets marked with a bullseye. Now, a hit on a weak spot will inflict bullseye target, or weapons will gain 15% against targets marked with the bullseye. So they've halved that. That sucks. I know a lot of people are using that, especially in like shrapnel builds. Compound bow. Before, gain a temporary boost of reload speed plus 6, crit rate plus 10 when hitting a target. Effect can stack up to 3 times, gaining max stacks while defeating a player at max stacks. Trigger unstable bomb when targets hit. Now, after hitting a target, reload speed plus 6 and crit rate plus 10, stacking up to 3 times and lasts for 6 seconds. Defeating a target instantly maxes out the stacks at max stacks. Hitting a target also triggers an enhanced unstable bomber. Can deal crit and causes target to lose balance. After each shot, unstable bomber multiplier plus 3%, stacking up to 6 times. If you miss, the stacks are halved. Every weak spot has a 40% chance to automatically reload one crossbow bolt. Okay, interesting. The deviant... The defeat affix of Jaws doesn't match its trigger ability, making Jaws slightly weaker than expected. Thus, we've adjusted its trigger method and duration. Before, after defeat, blast elemental damage plus 30% for 12 seconds. Now, after a weak spot hit, blast elemental 30 for 8 seconds. As a double-barrel shotgun, Doombringer is designed for close combat, but its ability to mark targets with a bullseye from afar is too prominent. We've lowered the probability of marking targets at long range while offering more rewards for close combat. So before, there was a 65% chance to trigger the bullseye on hit. Now, there's a 30% chance, but an 80% chance within 5 meters. Since Great Ones are no longer deviants, we've adjusted the effective deviation handling in the Novice Season Cradle to better focus on critical targets. So, before, having the deviation fight alongside grants damage plus 50% against deviants. Now, having deviation fight alongside grants damage 50% against bosses and elites Novice Season. Having the deviation fight alongside grants damage plus 25 against bosses and elites in Season 2. Okay, so they are kind of making up for that. Having it next season. Dang. So, developer notes. Also, the test dummies being deviant units and deviation handling adjustment will reduce damage output on wooden stakes when deviations are present compared to previous versions. No other stats were adjusted. Some players also noted low damage from the last Valor against test dummies. This is because the last Valor belongs to the penetration type and deals reduced damage against the test dummies. We plan to have more types of test dummies for you to choose. Oh, that's interesting. So all those video guides, people are like, this is doing X amount of that. It's all wrong. All their calculations are wrong. See, that's why I hate using the test dummy. I prefer actual, real scenario damage. Okay, just some bug fixes. You can have a look through those. New additions. Introduce multiple new calibration blueprint categories, which will be available in Season 2. These include Frugal Style. Suits pistols and timed rifles, allowing for ammo recovery from missed shots. Nice. Vanguard Style. Suits SMGs, rifles, and LMGs. Capable of stabilizing keyword effects. Obtainable yet. Boost Style. Suits pistols and shotguns. Capable of increasing keyword trigger probability through reloading. Overflow Style. Suits pistols and LMGs, allowing for overloading magazines based on shooting frequency. Energy Style. Shoots SMGs and rifles, allowing for ammo recovery after being hit. You may select from these when signing up for future scenarios. Added 2 mod suffixes. Resonance suffix. Increases sustained damage output while dealing weak spot, crit, and elemental damage. Ooh, that's nice. Battle affix. Increases weapon damage and status damage resistance in PvP. And adjusted the acquisition method. Adjusted the acquisition method for keyword suffix mods. Okay. Keyword suffix mod will now be available through public crisis events with their quality improving each season. A few more dev notes there. Deviation optimization adjustments. Fix an issue where deviations wouldn't attack test dummies. Optimize the animation and visual effects of the Xeno Purifier. Optimize the interaction of the Digby Boy and Logging Beaver. Added new interactions with Rebecca. Oh, what? Between the Beaver and the Digby Boy? Okay. Introduce new traits for deviants in Season 2. The following deviations now have a chance to gain new traits. Extra-dimensional cat, Digby Boy, Grocery, Fresh Lot Bunny, Butterflies Emissary, and Festering Gel. Significantly increased deviation resource production of the H37. Good, because it was terrible. Added gunpowder to obtainable list. Excellent. Deviations in territory will now continuously produce resources at gathering platforms. Gathering progress at platforms is saved when deviations stop working due to lack of power. And reduced deviation PvP damage factor. Okay. Survival optimizations. Added an auto flashlight feature that activates in dark areas. However, this may cause frequent brightness change in certain scenes. If discomfort occurs, the option can be turned off. Dish formulas gained from recipes picked up in the wilderness will now carry over across seasons, so players won't need to reobtain them to make the corresponding dishes in new seasons. Excellent. Characters under certain survival conditions that reduce movement speed, like low hydration or mild fractures, can now sprint at reduced speed. Guidance optimization to make it easier for players to go about tasks. A new guide feature has been added. When players approach an objective, Masuko will appear to guide the player. This feature can be turned off. Improve the interaction experience for Rift Anchor related gameplay. Players can now see the status of all Rift Anchors in the world and track their unlock progress. Cool. So, map optimizations. Optimized map. I think this is just a few little optimization bits. I don't think there's anything important in these. They slightly reduced the difficulty of Acrism Dungeon. Some internal trade optimizations. When items are sold through the vending machine's exchange mode, the earned items will no longer be sent directly to the seller's backpack. Instead, they'll be stored in the vending machine's storage space. Sellers can interact with their vending machines to collect their earnings. Okay, so it doesn't just instantly ping into your backpack. You've got to go and pick up your goods. That's fine. A few bug fixes, and that's about it. So, what do you think about all this new stuff? There's a lot coming. Tomorrow. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you stick it out to the end, go check out my other stuff. Come check me out on Twitch or YouTube, streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, 9:30 p.m. GMT, and have a great time. Bye bye.